when you're recording.
Rolling.
This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Eric Morton of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure that you never miss the latest from Disney theme parks around the world. Here now is the news for April 28th, 2025. Quick reminder, I know I've been talking about it a lot. We did open up more tickets for our Muppet Vision 3D event. gloriousfinale.com. You can find out more information about this amazing weekend that we have planned in June to say goodbye to Muppet Vision 3D. Check it out. All right, let's get on to the news, shall we? The Walt Disney Company is highlighting their positive impact on the American economy with a new webpage. Actually, if you could see close in my eyes, the American flag is waving in both of them. That's a Walt Disney quote that they put on there. It's a quote at the top of the webpage. It's thewaltdisneycompany.com/economic-impact, which features a special message from CEO Bob Iger and a chart of Disney's impact by the numbers. According to Disney, they employ more than 160,000 U.S. employees across all 50 states, who are invested in their success and the communities they call home, says Iger. Disney is investing $30 billion plus in their domestic theme parks, which will add approximately 10,000 jobs in Florida and California. In 2025, Disney will spend over $23 billion on movie and television production, the majority of which will be spent in the U.S. Disney is the #1 licensor of consumer products in the U.S., with about 500 American licensee companies. Disney has invested $370 million in higher education and professional development for hourly cast members through the Disney Aspire program. Disney is the #1 wish granter through Make-A-Wish, Iger says. I'm particularly proud of the ways we're able to use the power of Disney stories to lift children's spirits when they need it most. Disney grants a child's wish approximately every hour of every day. Disney also supports children's hospitals in the U.S. and internationally. They recently fulfilled a $100 million commitment to enhance the children's hospital experience. All of this ongoing work and more is part of our unwavering commitment to being a force for good in the world, especially right here in our own backyard, Iger finishes in his statement. According to several new changes in the Magic Kingdom entertainment schedule and cast member blockout dates, the new Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away nighttime parade may be debuting this July. Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away is a new nighttime parade first announced by Disney at D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan event. It will be Magic Kingdom's first nighttime parade in almost 10 years. Concept art for multiple floats from the parade have been shared in the months since the announcement, including floats that are inspired by Peter Pan, Frozen, Encanto, Disney princes and princesses, Moana, Wish, and Coco. The upcoming parade was announced to debut sometime in the summer of 2025, but Disney never mentioned the specific date. The parade was added to the Walt Disney World website in February and the My Disney Experience app in March, leading to some speculation that the parade may be close to finally getting an official announcement. However, Disney has still remained quiet on this. According to a new rumor, though, Disney's Starlight Dream the Night Away is planning to debut, at least maybe run technical rehearsal, in July. Cast members at Walt Disney World are starting to be blocked from entering Magic Kingdom Park on the week of July 4th. While this might be due to the expected high park crowds for the holiday, the block dates continue through the regular week after the 4th of July weekend. The cast member blockouts usually only extend through the holiday weekend, so the block is for the entire week. It's not normal for the summer. In addition, the entertainment schedule at Magic Kingdom undergoes some sudden changes in this same week. Happily Ever After, which currently runs at 9 p.m. and shifts back to 9:20 p.m. in May and June, suddenly shifts even further back to 10 p.m. on July 6th. The change is currently only visible on the My Disney Experience app, as the schedule on the app shows dates further out than the webpage does. While the push to 9:20 p.m. is normal during longer summer days in Florida, a move all the way back to 10 p.m. is not standard these days. The shift to a later fireworks slot is leading many to hypothesize that that parade will debut sometime during the week after July 4th, with two show times likely around 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. with Happily Ever After in the middle. This would match the old parade and firework times from 2010, which was the last time that Magic Kingdom had a routinely scheduled nighttime parade. Of course, it is important to note that this is all speculation until Disney makes an official date announcement, which will hopefully be sometime in the near future. A missing dog bench has finally returned outside Memento Mori, and Tarp in front of the queue of the Haunted Mansion has been removed at Magic Kingdom Park. The first change in Magic Kingdom is found by the main entrance to Memento Mori, the store near the entrance to the Haunted Mansion. A new brown bench has been added outside the building to the right of the stairs leading up to the porch. This bench is not actually new, but an old decoration that was removed when the parks closed back in 2020. This is the first time in nearly 5 years that this bench has been seen inside the Magic Kingdom. The bench is made of light brown wood planks attached to green metal arms. The arms have a swirling leaf pattern with feet that look like fallen leaves. One of the most interesting components of this ghostly bench is the shape of the end of each arm. Rather than the usual leaf pattern, both arms have dogs emerging from the metal. Both dogs have painted red eyes that stand out from the regular green color on the rest of the metal. It appears the bench is freshly painted, and it's nice to see it in the Magic Kingdom once again. The other recent Haunted Mansion update is located inside the attraction's main queue. We previously reported just over a week ago that a short construction wall had been added and a tarp had been laid over a section on the ground. Both of these block the guest walkway that usually goes around the back of the black hearse parked in the center of that queue. Both the construction wall and tarp have now been removed, revealing the nature of the concrete work involved removing this section of bricks from behind the hearse. The area is now back open to guests, but it's covered by a series of painted black boards. We expect this is not a permanent change and that the bricks in the section probably needed a little bit of repair. One other small section of the board is located on the left side of the exit pathway, only partially blocked by a white stanchion. It's possible the queue, the Haunted Mansion, will be seeing some more brick repairs in the coming weeks, and the boards have been placed over to just to temporarily replace them, a little temporary measure put in place there. For the first time in several years, public restrooms have reopened in the Canada Pavilion near the entrance of the new Chateau de Voyage in EPCOT. I don't know if that's how you say voyage in French. I don't know, I'm trying to be fancy. Chateau de Voyage, Chateau de Voyage. The returning restrooms are located on the second level of the Canada Pavilion, which was previously blocked off for construction work on the new Disney Vacation Club Welcome Home Center. With the DVC Chateau de Voyage now open, it appears Disney has also reopened the small set of restrooms in the previously unused buildings on this level. Restroom building is located on the left side of the Chateau entrance, near the stairs leading down to the first level of the Canada Pavilion by the waterfall. The building on the left side has always existed, but it's been inaccessible to guests since at least 2020. The building has a facade made to look like a stone house with white windows and matching white door frame. There's a small bench placed in front of the window as well as a small basket of flowers. Shingles on the roof are painted in shades of orange, faded green, and gray. Since this building has now been converted into a set of public bathrooms again, a white restroom sign has been added on the right side of the door. The sign has black swirls, flowers, and a fleur-de-lis around the edges. The interior of this restroom building is extremely small. There's only room really for one room there for men and one for women. There's a companion bathroom, so it's accessible for everyone and has extra handrails around the walls. Since there's only one room on each side, the sink is located directly to the left of the toilet. The bathroom has a standard Walt Disney World soap dispenser, paper towel dispenser, mirror, and small trash can. The walls are covered in off-white and azure blue tiles. The tiles have multiple patterns with vertical stripes on the bottom half of the wall and a row of blue fleur-de-lis tiles across the middle. Time of writing, the Canada Pavilion restrooms had not been added back to the digital map on the Walt Disney World website yet, but they are there. We saw them. We've been in them. Prior to the reopening of these restrooms, the nearest bathroom areas by the Canada Pavilion were over in the UK, a little bit of a walk down the road. Also, you could maybe go the other way and go to those secret imagination pavilion bathrooms that people talk about so much. UK Pavilion restrooms, by the way, were refurbished in early 2024. Disney's Hollywood Studios will remain open an extra 90 minutes on May the 4th, aka Star Wars Day. The park was previously scheduled to be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It will now be open 8:30 a.m. and will close at 10 p.m. Early entry for hotel guests begins at 8 a.m. Fantastic will be at 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. and Wonderful World of Animation will be at 9 p.m. No more Disney's Hollywood Studios Park Pass reservations are available for annual pass holders, but reservations are still available for regular theme park ticket holders and hotel guests. Pass holder reservations are still available for Magic Kingdom, EPCOT, and Disney's Animal Kingdom, so guests could potentially, book another park and hop over to Hollywood Studios if you really want to get wade into that chaos. Disney's Hollywood Studios will have May the 4th dated merchandise, special menu items, and souvenir novelties. Most menu items will be available through May 31st, while merchandise and novelties will only be available while supplies last. The Star Wars Hoth collection is already out. We've seen that one. So a lot more expected to show up. We've seen some of it maybe accidentally released on Disney Cruise Line and other places. So we'll see. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest Vacations and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head over to www.nt.travel and their team will help design your next magical vacation from Disney World and Disneyland to Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, and so much more. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. A 36-year-old Georgia man is facing criminal charges after he was accused of strangling his girlfriend's child at Walt Disney World's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. When his girlfriend and child got upset about what happened, Patrick Young accused them of being liberal blanks, according to the Orange County Sheriff's arrest report. Young of St. Mary's, Georgia, pleaded not guilty to child abuse and battery by strangulation, which are both third-degree felony charges. The situation unfolded on April 2nd after Young had been drinking that day, according to that report. Young and his girlfriend had been living together for about a year when they went on their Disney vacation together. Young denied trying to hurt the child and said he had been playing around with the child. The child recounted, "I'm not positive what started it, but he grabbed me around my neck and started choking me with his forearm," according to an arrest report anyway. At first I thought he was joking, but then I started actually being unable to breathe. The girl's mother, who saw the girl's face turn blue, began yelling at him to free their daughter. Young held the child for 10 to 15 seconds as the child tapped on his arm, and then he let her go. I dropped to the ground and started crying and gasping for air because I could not breathe at all. I moved away and he tried to pull me back, the girl told the sheriff's office. Young got angry at everyone's reactions. He started to become irate and saying he didn't understand why everyone was so upset. The child's mother said this in the arrest report. When I told him because she couldn't breathe, she was crying, he said, "That sounds like a liberal blank blank." I told the girls to grab their things and we would go. The child said in the report, "My mom was trying to defend me and he yelled at my mom trying to defend me that she is a liberal blank blank and that trying to defend me is a liberal blank blank response. My mom told us to get our stuff and he started yelling at everyone about literally anything and everything he could." The child's mother called 911 and the Florida Department of Children and Families was notified. When deputies interviewed him, Young said he was wrestling with his girlfriend's daughter when he put her in a chokehold, but he did not mean to hurt her. Patrick stated he did not think anything was wrong until his girlfriend told him to stop and called the police, reads the arrest report. A deputy did not see any bruises or marks on her neck, but it was clear the girl had been crying and had puffy cheeks. Young's attorney did not respond to a request for comment. All these suspects are presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Just in time for some warm Florida weather, a new beach photo op featuring Stitch has been added to Disney's PhotoPass studio in Disney Springs. The Disney PhotoPass studio is located between the Refurbished Brothers store and the Marketplace Co-op in Disney Springs. Location is open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and allows guests to pose for a Disney PhotoPass photographer in front of a themed backdrop. No reservations are required to enter the studio, and the photos are linked for downloads in the Guest My Disney Experience app. The themed backdrop in the PhotoPass studio changes every few months to match the current season. Previously, a rose-filled backdrop themed to Alice in Wonderland was added right before Valentine's Day. Now that summer is coming, the backdrop has been changed to a tropical beach setting. The backdrop has the image of a blue sky and ocean waves in the distance, while the ground is covered in a tarp colored like sand. This space is accented with several beach props, such as a Cinderella castle made of sand, Mickey's Surf Company surfboards, and various pool floaties. There's a brown fence made of wood boards and a few leafy tropical plants filling up the rest of the scene. Several of the items are also themed to our favorite blue alien, Stitch. Plus version of Stitch is sitting on top of the white lifeguard chair. He's also featured on several towels and toys hidden throughout the scene. While perfect for summer, the photo op may also be a subtle tie-in to the upcoming Lilo and Stitch film, which is set to premiere in theaters on May 23rd. Disney Springs has also added a new outdoor photo op for Mother's Day. Since the original test for the return of the airport luggage transfer service to select Walt Disney World resorts, signage advertising the service has now been added to the lobby of Disney's Pop Century Resort. Disney first began testing the return of airport luggage transfer service at Pop Century in late March. The service, which is operated by a third-party company called BagCheck, allows guests staying at the resort to drop off their checked baggage at the luggage assistance desk and have it delivered directly to their flight. At the time, the test was not publicly advertised and guests could only find out about the offering via word of mouth. Following that initial test, Disney officially announced the service and expanded the offering to all value resort hotels. Following this announcement, Disney added an airport luggage delivery service page to the official Walt Disney World website with more information and rules. Since the offering is now official, Disney has started adding signage advertising the airport luggage delivery service to the resorts. We found the first sign in the lobby of Pop Century. The sign has the official Southwest Airlines logo and includes a QR code that takes guests to the official website page. The back of the sign is a standard hotel information page with details about resort activities, movies, and wellness programs. The airport luggage delivery service rules have not changed since the initial announcement. The service currently only applies to guests who have booked a flight out of Orlando International Airport via Southwest Airlines. Once guests have dropped off their luggage at the luggage assistance desk, they will not be able to access their bags again until they get home from their flight. While the service is similar to the old resort airline check-in offering, it does not include taking luggage from the airport to the resort for check-in. Guests can only use the service for their departure from a Value Resort hotel. However, guests must only stay at an applicable Value Resort for the night prior to their departing flight. So guests, if you want to stay fancy and then transfer to a Value Resort just to be free of the luggage headache, well, you can do that, and people are taking advantage of that. We'll see how this works. People, let us know in the comments if you've used this. I want to see what people think of it. According to the New York Post, a New York mom of two is suing Disney for $2 million after she was injured at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon in April of 2022. Per the article, Kimberly Panetta was violently struck by a sudden and forceful wave while in the Typhoon Lagoon surf pool during an April 2022 visit. Panetta claims that the mammoth wave drug herself and her 3-year-old daughter underwater for several feet. According to court documents, the wave hit her from the side with such force it pummeled her and her body skidded across the cement or gunite, causing serious road rash and scrapes that were severe and quite deep. Both Panetta and her husband Frank, who's a lawyer, said their young daughter could have been seriously injured if not for her quick thinking to push her above the water. In the legal filing, Panetta details her experience, stating that their trip, quote, was ruined and that she, quote, was stuck limping around applying bandages, salves, and creams and was forced to avoid swimming and enjoying planned visits to the parks due to cuts and scrapes on her legs. Frank Panetta says that Disney offered nothing but a measly $250 credit after the incident. This is not the first lawsuit as a result of a Typhoon Lagoon-related injury. In May of 2024, Laura Reyes Marino went tubing on the Humunga Cowabunga ride and at some point went unconscious after being banged around inside the ride. Humunga Cowabunga is a 214-foot long body slide that does not use tubes. The lawsuit claimed that the Walt Disney World Resort failed to warn of any dangerous conditions about which it knew or should have known about on the Humunga Cowabunga water slide. So, yeah, there's 2 of these now. This lawsuit came on the heels of one filed by Emma and Edward McGinnis against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts over a 2019 incident in which Emma McGinnis suffered a painful wedgie. We won't go into the details of that one, but a pretty bad wedgie that resulted in legal action on the same slide. Crews have moved the construction walls for the installation of new Tapstiles at the final section of Disneyland Park entrance gates. After opening for a pre-launch in December of 2024, work moved to the gates second from the left when approaching the park. Most recently, work was completed around the section second from the right. The new park gates are referred to as Tapstiles, as a portmanteau of tap and turnstile, referencing the old physical turnstiles and relatively new tap technology. The new Tapstiles with Magic Band Plus functionality and new cameras were first installed at the entrance to Disney California Adventure back in March of 2024. Both Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure have been receiving the new entrance gate technology one section at a time to remove the old turnstiles and install the new ones over the last few months. The construction walls are tan with white trim. Posters are attached to a few of the walls and say, "Pardon our pixie dust as we refurbish this area for your future enjoyment." Others simply just say Disneyland. New themed statues reminding guests to only put food scraps into the green food waste trash cans are appearing around the Disneyland Resort. We spotted the first of these themed food scrap statues at Galactic Grill in Disneyland Park. A small silver robot similar to BDX droids in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, now sitting atop the food waste can. The robot is attached directly to the top of the green can to prevent it from being moved. The robot is holding a matching silver sign that says, "Food scraps only. This bin is for refueling biological organisms." The text is written in a futuristic blue font used on similar signs around Tomorrowland and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Galactic Grill already received some new environmentally friendly recycling tips, including new recycling-themed placemats on the restaurant's trays. However, we later spotted more of these food scraps-only statues in other areas around Disneyland Resort. We found an X-themed statue at Cozy Cone Motel in DCA. Like the Galactic Grill robot, the statue is attached to the top of the green food scraps can. To match the theme of this area, the statue takes the form of a bright orange traffic cone. The words "food scraps only" are painted on the side of the cone in a text style commonly seen on tools and hardware. The next statue was also located in Cars Land at DCA, but this can was closer to Flo's V8 Cafe rather than use the same traffic cone design. The statue's a light teal blue pile of car parts looks similar to a retro radio. The sign itself is black with text saying food scraps only in this bin. The top of the sign also has Flo's V8 Cafe logo. The dials of the front of the teal parts are fuel gauges commonly seen in car dashboards. After several months of refurbishment, the construction walls placed around the facade of It's a Small World in Disneyland Park have finally been removed. The Disneyland version of It's a Small World closed in January of this year for some major refurbishments, more than just the usual removing of the holiday overlay anyway. Disney later announced the attraction would debut a new verse to the classic It's a Small World song, debuting in Disney's 70th anniversary celebration as tribute to the Sherman Brothers and new dolls from the Pixar film Coco in the Mexico scene. Since our last construction update, all of the construction walls around the main attraction facade have now been removed. The water in the boat path for the attraction has been refilled to its usual operating level, though it looks lower due to the absence of boats. I guess, it makes more sense, right? The boats make the water level rise a little bit. No major changes to the facade or nearby queue are visible. The facade appears to have been touched up in places, and the paint looks fresh once again. The animation on the front of the building, including the small spires and spinning ornaments, was not operational as of yesterday. However, these are expected to begin working within the next few days. As with most of the refurbished walkways around the section of Fantasyland, the bricks closest to the gardens have all been replaced with new, darker colored bricks. The bridges and walkways all leading to the attraction's queue are blocked with white ropes and signs saying our musical voyage resumes this spring. The walls have also been removed from the side of the It's a Small World queue area, so the attraction's extended queue is visible once again. The walls and construction tools have been removed from the queue and the side closest to the loading area as well. The pavement by the queue is not covered by the bricks that were used on the rest of the guest walkway, so this section has not been replaced. At the end of the street, the It's a Small World parade gate is also visible once again. The parade gate has been repainted and retextured, so it looks more colorful and detailed than it did at the end of last year. While all of the walls around the facade have been removed, there are still some construction walls standing in the Small World Mall. That's the area close to the restrooms. The brick replacement work in this section is still being completed, so those walls will remain a little while longer. Fantasyland Popcorn Cart has not returned to its usual spot on the other side of the walkway yet either. The ending date for It's a Small World refurbishment was recently shifted to May 8th, indicating the attraction is likely to reopen May 9th. Certainly they want it to reopen before May 16th, I would guess. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to plan your next Disney trip, that time is now. DVC Rental Store has just dropped prices on DVC rentals for Disney Deluxe Resorts, making this the lowest pricing of the year. For a limited time only, you can experience the luxury and convenience of staying in a Disney Deluxe villa at a fraction of the cost of booking directly through Disney. Today's show is brought to you by DVC Rental Store, a great way for you to plan a luxury Disney vacation on a modest budget. You don't need to sign up for a full DVC contract, but instead they will allow you to rent the points you need for a magical stay. Really is the best way to stay deluxe at a fraction of the cost. And now, thanks to their lowest price guarantee offer, you'll always have the best price on the market. The rooms are discounted up to 75%, and they have the largest member inventory for points, so lots to choose from. You can search their availability for free right now, which is not something all rental companies offer. And if you do choose to book, they have a great cancellation policy and a low down payment. DVC Rental Store is the #1 DVC rental company in the U.S. and one we have used many times over. Head over to our description and check them out. Now that the 2025 DCA Food and Wine Festival has come to an end, the park has debuted a new guide map. The cover features Lightning McQueen in front of Radiator Springs racers lit up against the night sky. At the top of the cover is the word Guidemap on a black background with Disney California Adventure beneath it. Inside the first fold of the guide map is information about Disneyland app, Lightning Lane systems, and mobile ordering. Below the informational ads is an image of Lightning McQueen and Mater in front of the Radiator Springs Fire Station. The back page of the guide map features ads about Magic Key Annual Pass program and information about the use of Magic Band Plus. When completely unfolded, the guide map contains, well, the map of Disney California Adventure to the left and colorized categories of each section to the park corresponding to the map on the right. One change we found on the new guide map is that World of Color 1 is now listed as an attraction instead of its change to World of Color Happiness, which will debut on May 16th, the start date of Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration. You didn't catch my reference earlier. This new version of World of Color will utilize its signature fountains, dynamic lighting, colorful lasers, fog, dramatic flame effects, and water projections in Paradise Bay. The Disney Theater is also listed first in the Guidemap, despite being closed at this time. The Disney Junior Dance Party was previously held in the theater but closed after holding its final performance Sunday, March 23rd. Disney Parks blog has announced the replacement for Disney Junior Dance Party show called Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live, which will debut at the theater in May 16th, in time for Disneyland's 70th celebration. According to new reports, the walkway connecting Cars Land and Avengers campus at Disney California Adventure will soon be temporarily closed to, facilitate construction work. Disney has announced a planned expansion of Avengers campus in Disney California Adventure that is expected to double the size of the land. Avengers campus will receive 2 new attractions in addition to the existing locations, which will be called Avengers, Infinity Defense, and Stark Flight Lab. With construction on the expansion expected to get underway soon, several changes have been taking place at DCA. The red car trolley took its final ride down Buena Vista Street earlier this year, as the storage barn where the trolley cars are usually stored is going to be torn down. One red car trolley vehicle has since been added to the front of the park as a stationary photo op. The overall scale of the Disneyland Forward expansion project, which will include the expanded Avengers campus as well as the previously announced Avatar Land, has also caused the resort to announce that the Run Disney races at Disneyland Resort are going to be closed. Of course, we talked about that last week. According to a new post on X by Scott Gustin, the pathway connecting Avengers Campus to Cars Land will soon be closing. He reports that this path on the far right of Cars Land between Radiator Springs Curios and Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters will be blocked off starting April 29th, that's tomorrow, will not reopen until next summer at least. His post also adds that this construction will include building a new restroom facility along the gas pathway. With the walkway closed, guests wanting to reach Avengers Campus from this side of Disney California Adventure, well, they're going to have to head back down the main path of Cars Land to the edge of Pacific Wharf and take that larger path to the right and go past where Spider-Man used to swing around and all that. You know the area, you locals. Most of the scrim surrounding Carthay Circle at Disney California Adventure has come down amid the refurbishment to the exterior of the restaurant. After being completely covered with printed themed scrims meant to camouflage the construction, majority of facade of Carthay Circle has been revealed. The scrim, which was wrapped around scaffolding that covered the iconic tower, most of the marquee, and the right side of the building, now only covers the left side of the building. 10 construction walls are also still present along that left side. Refurbishment on the Carthay Circle facade began in February, and scrim and scaffolding went up in March. It appears the general work and routine exterior refurbishment of the restaurant has occurred beyond the scrim, including new metal speaker covers. Some new lighting equipment can now be seen also on the restaurant's facade. The restaurant is modeled after the original Carthay Circle Theater, built in 1926. Considered one of the great movie palaces of the golden age of Hollywood, if you didn't know. Walt Disney's first feature-length film, of course, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, premiered there in 1937. In a shocking announcement, Tokyo Disney Resort has revealed that they have been considering major land overhauls to carry their theme parks through 2035, including a reimagining of Adventureland at Tokyo Disneyland. According to the early concept art just released, this may permanently erase the world-famous Jungle Cruise, Enchanted Tiki Room, Swiss Family Treehouse, and more. In the concept rendering from Walt Disney Imagineering, we can see that Adventureland beyond the borders of New Orleans area behind the Crystal Palace restaurant is very different. Not visible to us are several longtime staples of the park, including the Jungle Cruise and Swiss Family Treehouse, also the Western River Railroad, and again, the Enchanted Tiki Room, as well as several existing shopping and dining venues. The press release and other information disseminated by the Oriental Land Company, they do little to explain the above art other than give a rough timeline and inform the public of the possible project. The art appears to depict some wild locales, seemingly South or Central America. There is the presence of several colorful balloons and what looks like Paradise Falls from Disney Pixar's Up. Other areas show a reimagined and expanded New Orleans section, a possible rowboat attraction, what appears to be a playground, a high-speed roller coaster ride, an Omnidroid spinner that looks like they may be inspired by Disney Pixar's The Incredibles, a flying swing ride in the small village, and what may be a giant show building on the bottom right. Could also just be hiding Big Thunder Mountain and Western Land, as sight lines are important in a Disney theme park, at least in Tokyo. Again, details are very scarce, so this is all very speculative at this time. There's no doubt that this is the farthest reaches of Adventureland, and no mistaking what attractions are missing from it, though. The Swiss Family Treehouse has already been closed for several years, so the announcement of that attraction's demise is really no surprise. It is, however, surprising to see opening day attractions like the Jungle Cruise, Enchanted Tiki Room, currently featuring Stitch, by the way, and Western River Railroad all gone. Now, the railroad may very well survive, as it mostly takes place in Westernland. Tokyo Disneyland version of Frontierland, if you didn't know. But we can't see that area in this art. The ride's current load station seems to be very much removed in the concept rendering, though. Tokyo Disneyland does have a recent track record of closing classic Disney attractions as they look toward their 50th anniversary. That's going to be in 2033. They recently shuttered the original Space Mountain. In Tomorrowland are building a new modern version of the legendary coaster set to open in 2027. For more details on the project, we will sadly have to wait. It's worth noting that plans can always change, and the art we are seeing likely will not be the final product. In the past, plans for a revitalized Fantasyland at Tokyo Disneyland, for example, were changed post-announcement. And the announcement, frozen-only port at Tokyo Disney Sea, ended up morphing into Fantasy Springs. So I guess we'll see. Stay tuned. The Oriental Land Company has also announced that they are considering expansion plans for Tokyo Disney Sea, and specifically the Port Discovery area that would be completed in the next 10 years. Pieces of Walt Disney Imagineering concept art show Port Discovery at the park minus the opening day attraction Aquatopia. In the rendering, the Tokyo Disney Sea Electric Railway, Tokyo Disney Sea Transit Steamer, and Nemo and Friends Sea Rider attractions are all visible, confirming that this is that port in the park. No further details other than this image were released, so what the plans include and what is in those new buildings remains unclear. The project is currently being considered and is not approved just yet, so things could certainly change or be canceled altogether. If it does happen, it would be sometime before 2035. One interesting part of the art to note is the circular turnaround area for the transit steamer, which may indicate that this project would seal off the waterway between Port Discovery and the American waterfront, facilitating the need for the boat traffic to turn around when it reaches this point. You can watch our videos of Aquatopia, Tokyo Disney Sea Electric Railway, and the Tokyo Disney Sea Transit Steamer right here on our channel. I will warn you, it's like a rabbit hole. You go down there and you start looking at all the Tokyo stuff, and you'll be there for a long time. Oriental Land Company has indicated that they are considering building more resort hotels for Tokyo Disney Resort to accommodate demand. In the 2035 long-term management strategy packet, OLC revealed that they are considering establishing new Disney resort hotels seemingly across all value types: luxury, deluxe, moderate, and value. According to the report, occupancy rates are more than 95%, and OLC sees further unmet demand to be filled by building more new Disney accommodations near the destination. Currently, the following lodgings are available for guests, making for a total of 3,483 rooms on property. Of course, there's Tokyo Disney Sea Fantasy Springs Hotel, that's a luxury. Disney Ambassador Hotel, that's deluxe. Tokyo Disney Sea Hotel Miracosta, that's deluxe. Tokyo Disneyland Hotel, that's deluxe. Tokyo Disney Resort Toy Story Hotel, that's moderate. Tokyo Disney Celebration Hotel is a value resort. More specific details on how many resorts or what resort types are being considered were not shared, as this plan still appears to be very early days. The most recent Disney hotel to open at Tokyo Disney Resort is the Tokyo Disney Sea Fantasy Springs Hotel, an in-park accommodation that opened with the new Fantasy Springs port at Tokyo Disney Sea. With Oriental Land Company venturing into the cruise business with Disney Cruise Line, it appears there may be plans for a second ship in Japan. In the 2035 long-term management strategy packet, OLC looks ahead to its upcoming debut in the cruise industry, building on its proud track record of evolving and growing Tokyo Disney Resort for more than 40 years. The document gives an overview of the significance of OLC entering the cruise business and its strengths not found in their existing ventures. Listed: acquire a new pillar of revenue for the OLC group. Highly profitable business model, not subject to land constraints. Avoid the risk of concentrating all business in Maihama business model, less susceptible to weather conditions. Employment from overseas. Last year, OLC announced a new agreement to launch their own Disney Cruise Line ship in Japan. They're targeting a 2028 launch. Construction on the ship is scheduled to begin this fiscal year. Meyer Werft has been commissioned to build the Disney Wish class ship, joining the Disney Wish, the Treasure, and the Destiny, but sailing out of Japan. As of July 2024, the investment amount in the new ship totaled 330 billion yen. As of April of 2025, that amount is divided into 290 billion for the ship's body, 40 billion in contingency funds. Net sales are expected to be 100 billion, with the operating margin to be on par with OLC's theme park segment. The ship is expected to generate profit from fiscal year 2029 when full year operation is scheduled. Because of this new revenue stream, OLC appears to already be considering the second ship. In a document, OLC states that, quote, the launch of the second ship will be considered when the first ship is successfully on track. This means we could see the announcement of a second Japan-based Disney Cruise Line ship sometime after 2028 or 2029 when the first ship is in service. It's worth noting that plans can change, yada, yada. We know this. These are going to change. But the fact that OLC is even considering a new ship before the first one is in port indicates their confidence in entering the cruise business. This marks the first time that a DCL ship will not be operated by Disney Cruise Line. By 2031, Disney Cruise Line will support a fleet of 13 ships, which include the Magic, the Wonder, the Fantasy, the Dream, the Wish, the Treasure, the Destiny, the Adventure, and a smaller class of 3 ships, and the Oriental Land Company's Wish-class ship. For the absolute latest on these stories and all those that did not make it on today's show, please be sure to check wwnt.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. A special shout out to all the WIGS members watching who make this show happen each and every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Eric Morton saying, enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.